What's up, fellas? So we back with the greatest hits for AMS with his new camera. So today we're here to talk about the pros and cons to cold approaching. All right. This also can be taken as the pros and cons to choosing signals. Okay. So obviously the pros to cold approaching are going to be the cons to waiting for choosing signals. And the cons for cold approaching is also going to be the pros for waiting for choosing signals. All right. So that's the thing with that. I'll probably put on there pros and cons to choosing signals, because choosing signals is the hot little phrase now. Cold approach is kind of like 1980. So I might just use pros and cons to choosing signals. All right. But anyway, all right. So the first one, guys, well, let's just do, I wrote it down as pros and cons to cold approach. So we're just going to do it like that. All right. So the first pro to cold approaching is you'll pull more women, guys. You gonna sleep with more women. Ain't no way about it. If you approach more women, the numbers just say that. Now, I can just take my own life experience, right? I can just take my own life experience from choosing signals and cold approach, and I can tell you right now that when I cold approach back in the day, I slept with way more women than I do now. But here's the thing. And this is what I've been trying to tell you guys for the longest. I had nothing. Do y'all guys understand? It's the mindset. I want y'all guys to grasp that. It's the mindset. When I started waiting for choosing signals, my life improved. When I slept with more women, it didn't. And I'm not even talking about the time to sleep with women. It's the mindset. So right now, I'm more in a success, happiness stage. What I've learned, guys, and this is what I've been trying to tell you guys for the fucking longest, choosing signals is not about attracting women. I don't know how many times I had to say it. When I die, I hope they put the shit on my fucking grave. I'm gonna start wearing a goddamn t-shirt that say choosing signals is not the best way to attract the most women. Cause I already know some jackass is finna come in the goddamn comments and tell me, oh, I just go for what I want. Choosing signals is playing around. Motherfucker, you son of a bitch. If I see one of you motherfuckers in this goddamn comments talking about something, I just go for what I want, all the other bullshit. When I sit up and I specifically have been saying this shit for almost 3 days, I don't know if I have to strangle somebody on this fucking camera to get my point across about choosing signals. Choosing signals is not about attracting the most women. If you thought that, you are a jackass. Okay, point blank, period. Choosing signals is a state of mind. I am not anti-cold approach. I just wanted to be in the natural course of things. Okay, if you're a guy and you're out living your social life of abundance, okay, and you see a baddie or a dime or whatever you call it these days, all right, a stallion or whatever you call them these days, and you just say, hey man, you know, you just out with your friend, y'all having some wine, drinking and stuff like that, and then you see her and you like, you want to go over and cold approach without her sending you no choosing signals, fine. I won't lose any sleep over it. What I'm just against is the mindset of you leaving the house with your friend with the mindset that we finna try to get numbers. I don't like that mindset. It is a thirsty loser's mentality. Live your life. If you meet women along the way, choosing signals or not, choosing signals is the mindset. Hey man, I'm going to shoot ball. Boom, boom, boom. Hey man, just so happened a badass chick out here walking her dog in the park, and you go over and approach her. What I don't like is when you leave the house, go to the mall, thinking how many numbers you can get. You want to know what me and my friend used to do back in the day? This before cell phones and all that shit. Y'all want to know what we did? We went to the mall with a pen and a piece of paper in our pocket. No fucking lie. Pen in our pocket and a piece of paper to write down numbers. Do that sound like somebody who authentically met women naturally? You know, me looking back on it now, I got to be thinking to myself, what the hell was them women thinking? You got a pen and piece of paper in your fucking pocket? I know you out here goddamn chasing ass. You know, I ain't think about it at the time, but I'm thinking about it now. And y'all want to know why we did that? Because you would lose a lot of girls. So you would meet girls at the mall, right? And then they didn't have no paper, they didn't have no pen, you ain't got now. And then you like, hey, let's come over here. They like, oh, I'm in a hurry, this, that, and that. So we got smart. We start coming to the mall with a pen and paper in our fucking pocket to make sure, bitch, we ain't gotta go look for nothing. Well, I'm good. We good now. I got a pen and paper right here. All right, that mindset, guys. And the reason I don't like that mindset is because when you in that female validation mind, where you constantly need female validation, you constantly need to date women, you'll always be unhappy. You know what? You know what we used to do? This is what we do. Go to the mall, get a whole bunch of numbers, get 15 numbers, come home. 12 of them wouldn't even answer the phone. Or I wouldn't say, maybe 10 of them wouldn't even answer the phone. 3 of them would say, I'm gonna call you back. And then 2 of them will probably be on about something. 1 will flake, and maybe out of that 15, you might get 1 out on a date. Do that sound like a recipe for happiness? You know what that sounds like a recipe for? Frustration. You know, that's what it sounds for. You gotta get 15 numbers to get 1 on a date. That is a recipe for frustration. I promise you that you will forever be frustrated with that mindset. I promise you. The best mindset is, when you think of choosing signals in the mindset of living a social life of abundance, meeting women along the way. And if you just so happen to see a woman that you find attractive and she's not paying you no attention, or she don't see you, and you like, hey, I'll never see this woman again, I want to approach, go up in the fucking approach. AMS is not going to appear from behind a building and kick you in your ass because you cold approach. I just don't like the mindset of leaving a house to cold approach. I hope I fucking cleared that up. I know some jackass is going to come in the comments. I go for what I want. All that other bullshit, man. I just swear. All right, next. You'll get more confident. You'll get better at your approaches. So what ends up, you'll just get more comfortable. That's a better word. Comfortable with your approach. So what ends up happening, I'm talking right now to the pros of cold approaching, right? What'll end up happening is approaching a woman who's not sending you no signs of flirting with you, no signs of choosing signals or nothing like that. What you'll notice is this is what we call breaking the ice. See, you don't got to break the ice with a woman who's sending you choosing signals. She broke the ice when she smiled at your ass and been staring at you for fucking 20 seconds. She broke the ice. When you going up to a woman who ain't gave you no indicators or interest or nothing, and you just going up to her, what ends up happening is it's like this stare down, like it's this initial shock. Sometimes, especially if the woman don't see you coming, like say you approached her from the back, you'll notice that sometimes you'll start a little bit, ooh. And then it's like, what'll end up happening is you'll get more comfortable with that. That becomes smoother. All right, you'll learn how to integrate. And so basically what I learned from when I used to cold approach women like this, I learned to engage in the situation. That's how I got good at when I was cold approaching. So I see a woman, say she's shopping or something like that, and she got some bags. I might ask her something like, hey, did you get me something? You know, just something like that. If I see a girl at the gym or something like that, I might say, you training for the Olympics? Just something to kind of break the ice. All right. Now, I still stand by what I say for you guys that might not be creative like that, to just go up and introduce yourself. I'm creative like that. I got that creative mind that I could see something like, y'all guys got to understand that half the shit I talk in these videos, other than taking my notes, I don't think of it. I think of it on the fly because I'm creative like that. It's not like I sit around and know everything I'm going to say in the video, because I fucking don't. I write my notes down on what I want to cover, and everything I'm going to say in between those talking points, I just create on the fly. You see, most of you guys might not have that kind of creativity. And so in that situation, if you don't have that creativity, do not do corny lines. Okay? Do not do corny lines. It makes you seem lame. Okay? And staged. Okay? What you want to do is just introduce yourself and let her introduce herself. And usually the conversation might go somewhere else depending on what she say. She might ask you something. Okay? But the bottom line is, do not start doing corny pickup lines and stuff like that. But the main thing from that is, I want you guys to know, you'll just get more comfortable with cold approaching. As with anything, this is a skill. If you're gonna do cold approaching, it's a skill. Repetition helps improve that skill. Even me dealing with this camera, y'all ought to see me fooling around with this camera when I first got it. And now when I just set it up to do this video, I'm like, this is what was had me, frustrated and trying to figure out. I'm like, it's now because I done played with it a couple times. It ain't no issue for me to set up. But y'all guys ought to see me when I took it out the box, how it was like, Chinese algebra or something. Just repetition. And I'm quite sure a month from now, I'll even be way better than I am now. A year from now, I'll be even way better than that. So that's just the way it go, guys. You'll just get better at breaking that ice. All right. If you already have thick skin, if you already have confidence, you'll develop thick skin. In other words, and I want to say this, if you already have confidence now, if you don't have confidence, the rejections are going to kill your insecurities. It's going to bring it out more if you don't have confidence. If you ain't got over those insecurities, it's going to kill it. But if you somebody who already have confidence, and what is confidence to me? Basically to me, confidence to me is somebody who accepts their insecurities, somebody who accepts their flaws. That's basically what confidence is. I just sat down and I was just thinking the other day and I was like, you know what confidence is? And you know why some fat guys are confident and some fat guys are not, and why some short guys are confident. Basically, some people have just accepted their flaws and some people just ain't. That's it. Some people just have. I wish I had hair. If I had hair right now, I probably have dreadlocks. Who knows? I get if I had the ability to grow my hair, I wouldn't be bald. Let's just put it like that. It's out of my hands at this point. It's in God's hand. And he said, I ain't giving you none. All right, if it was in my hand and I could grow hair, I'd probably have dreads. Who don't know? Goddamn, I might have some goddamn braids on this goddamn motherfucker. The last man with braids on earth, goddamn it. That if I had it. So that's the issue with that. But if you don't haven't accept your flaws, this is going to kill it even more. But if you have confidence, what it'll do is it'll thicken your skin for rejection. It'll just bounce off of you. You know why that is? Because men who accept their flaws and their insecurities, when they get rejected, they just accept it as preference and timing. So like if I go up and approach a woman, since I accept my flaws and insecurities, if a woman reject me, I accept it as in, hey, I'm not her preference, or right now is not the right time. And what I mean by timing, guys, is that means that if I was to come and talk to that same woman a week later, I probably could have got a number. Sometimes timing is just off. And let me tell y'all guys, prove something to y'all guys about timing. In New York, I haven't had this issue in Atlanta, but in New York, you encounter a lot of homeless people. Sometimes I might give one $5 or $10. The next day a bum come to me, I'm like, man, get out my face. Now, why would I give this guy $10 and tell this guy, man, or basically ignore him? I ain't gonna tell nobody to get out my face, but I'll probably ignore him, right? Keep on walking like, you're thinking, I don't say it to him, but I'm thinking in my head, man, get a job, right? Why would I give one money, but I don't know them? Why would I treat one better than the other? He's not no family member of mine. Why would I treat one like that, but I give him some timing? This day here, I was just in a better mood than I was when you met me. If you was to switch the positions and I would have met him this day and met you that day, he would have got the same treatment this one got. Because it's not one better than the other. Timing. What kind of mood I am in. As crazy as it sounds, you can't get, in New York, there's a lot of homeless people. So you ain't going to give every homeless person you see that's begging on the street some money. You'll be broke. All right, they everywhere. Every corner. They every goddamn well. Every time you turn around, you can't give everybody no money. So why you give this one some timing? Just how I'm feeling that day. Got my dick sucked last night. Hey, can you spare some change? Yeah, man, here you go. Girl flaked on me last night. Hey, bro, can you spare? Man, no. Went to the gym. I was trying to go for a PR. I missed that last rep. Man, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't like ball. Leave me alone. Went to the club last night, got 2 baddest phone numbers. Next morning, going to the gym. Hey man, can you spare some change? Sure, fella, here you go. All in timing. That's the same way it works with women. Just timing. Maybe her period came on. Maybe her mama won't babysit her child for the weekend and she wanted to go to Miami. Who the fuck knows? Maybe she just got turned down from that job. Maybe her boss just got on her ass that day and get on her goddamn nerves. Who knows? Timing, guys. All timing. Timing is key in life and preference. The next thing, your approach game will improve with women who have mediocre interests. All right, so in my opinion, there's nothing you could do with a woman who has low interest, right? She don't find you attractive. But the women who sitting on that fence, those see you as a 5 or a 6. When you talk to them, they're the type, and for y'all guys wondering who those are, these will be the ones, they'll be talking to you like, let's just take the instance you meet her at the mall, right? What you'll notice is you'll be talking to her and she really won't stop, but she's talking and you following behind her like a little stray puppy, right? But she's talking, but she ain't stopped and gave you her undivided attention. Those are those mediocre interest girls. And what end up happening is your game and your smoothness are improved to get her number. Okay, it's easy if you go up and approach a girl and she's smiling, hey, how you doing? That's easy. Everybody get those, right? But I'm talking about those ones where you talking and she's not ignoring you, but she ain't stopped and like gave you her full undivided attention, right? She's kind of like, whatever, whatever, right? These are the women that you say, give me your number. And they regularly just pushing their buggy and they tell you their number, but they ain't stopped and gave you eye contact one fucking time. You'll learn how to bring them on home. You'll know how to, your game will be on point to get those. And basically what's happening is they low interest indicators don't deter you none as it might have before. You done built up that confidence where you think that, you know what, I can get her too. So your confidence comes through and you don't start buckling because she's not showing you high interest, which is hard to do. When a woman kind of like ignoring you, like showing low interest and stuff like that, it can kind of like fuck with your psyche a little bit. And you be like, ugh. But if you cold approach enough, that shit kind of just bounce off you and your game improves and you know how to bring it on home. All right, guys. That's sort of like the same thing goes on with the developing the thick skin. Then the last one on the pro, guys, is you'll pull women who suck at sending choosing signals. So what you have is, guys, you have some women who either suck or just don't send choosing signals or whatever the case. All right. And so let's just stick with suck, right? Some women, they just suck at the stuff, right? They just, and for y'all guys wondering who these girls is, these are the girls that when you wondering, was that a choosing signals? That's who I'm talking about. When the women who good at sending choosing signals, it's no doubt. They know what to do. They know how to make eye contact and smile and probably play around with their hair some. And you have these other dumb bitches. They sit there all nervous and stuff. And you like, is she choosing? So what'll end up happening is guys who cold approach, you leave nothing on the table. Guys who don't want cold approach, period, which I don't advocate, by the way. I really don't advocate. I just don't want you leaving the house with the mindset of, I'm finna talk to everything moving. All right, I'm not against cold approach. I cold approach, right? Every woman I talk to don't be sitting there licking her lips out at me like she want me. No, that's stupid, right? But I just don't leave the house with the mindset of cold approaching. I know some of the stuff I say is really deep thinking and it just flies over y'all head sometimes. It's just the mindset. That's what I don't like. It's a hungry, thirsty mindset. But getting back to the point, you'll get those women. Some guys, if they don't get choosing signals, period. All right, even before I said it, even before I said it, guys, some guys, if they ain't think a woman want them, they won't approach. All right, and so you leaving a lot of booty on the table. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Oh man, woo! How much film I got left on this? Cause I'm getting into the cons now, and the cons are heavy. All right, so number one con, you give women the power from the get-go. This is the issue with cold approaching. You give women the power from the get-go. You already starting out from the pursuing. So expect from the get-go her to play hard to get. All right. And this could be because she has low interest, because you cold approach. Let's okay. If I'm in a club and a woman is close by me and she's not sending choosing signal, not right by me, because that's a choosing signal. Let's just say she like 3 people over, right? And she's right by me and she ain't choosing me. That's probably a no signs that she want me or anything like that. That could be low interest, right? So when you meet that type of woman like that, what you gonna start? You probably gonna end up doing all the pursuing because she has all the power. That is big right there. Y'all guys gotta understand. As a high value man, that can be hard to deal with sometimes. And when I say that, guys, what I mean is these will be the women who won't initiate contact with you at all until they start building some type of attachment. All right. And that's an issue for a high value man to then took a woman out on 3 dates, 2 days, 3 days, and she still hasn't initiated. That's an ego thing. Okay. And it's kind of hard to get over if you're a high value man. If you're a man who just got that going on for himself, that don't bother you. Like, yeah, I'd pursue all day. But for a man that has his shit together, that can be a bitter pill to swallow to like, goddamn, I got to do every goddamn thing. All right. So that's one issue to cold approaching, is that you giving women the power to play hard to get from the get-go. Do y'all guys understand that? That's a hard thing to overcome right there if you're a high value man. Next, other women can say he tried to talk to me. I've had this about 3 or 4 times in my life, guys, when I used to cold approach with girls I dated back in the day. I'll take y'all to the girl I dated at the gym, right? Her friend told her, oh, he tried to talk to me. That's an issue when you cold approach a lot. When women go run that background check on you, all right, and y'all guys got to understand why women run the background checks. The number one reason a woman run a background check is to make sure you ain't fool with none of her friends or family members. If you fuck them, I don't want to fuck them. So women say, hey, you know him? And so something like that, guys, can kill attraction from the get-go. If a woman found out you done got rejected by 1 or 2 of her friends, if y'all guys wonder how I came through that, the girls ran the background check after they liked me a little bit. After a couple of weeks, they asked their friends about me. The girl asked the girl in the gym about me. Good thing she didn't ask her right away. Because had she asked that girl, hey, you know him? You know, what you know about him? Oh, girl, he tried to talk to me. Because, see, I was a holler monster. So she probably would ask 3 more of her friends. He tried to talk to me too. And it makes you look so low value. Had another girl back in Alabama, and she'd asked another girl, and the girl told him, oh, you tried to talk. Your friend said you tried to talk to her at the gas station. And I knew exactly who she was talking about because I remember that girl was fine. I remember. So as soon as she said, I knew who she was talking about. And it just makes you look so bad. It makes you. One girl, I actually had tried to talk to her sister like 4 or 5 years prior to that, her half sister, 4 or 5 years prior to that. And for whatever reason, to this day, I don't know why her sister didn't even tell her that I was trying to talk to her. She's like, he cool, but she never told her that I was trying to get. Now, that never happened, but I was definitely trying to fuck, right? I didn't get the chance to fuck. Matter of fact, I never saw her after one time. And for whatever reason, she never told her sister that, yeah, me and him hung out one time, right? We hung out one time. Actually, I came over her house. I didn't take her out. I came over her house one time. And I never saw her again. And so that could have, and that girl was the finest girl I've ever dated in my life, at least in the top 3. And that could have ruined it from the get-go. But for whatever reason, to this day, I don't know why she I have no, maybe she forgot I was one guy that was trying to talk to her. I have no idea. All right, both of them was fine. I have no idea. But when she told me, she said, you know, my sister, her sister was a popular, fine girl back home, right? Fine girl back home, one of them girls that everybody know, right? And I tried to talk to her, and I'm thinking that her sister might talk to so many dudes that she probably didn't even remember how she met me, but she just knew me. And she told her sister I was cool. But something like that, when you try to talk to so many women, and when these girls go run these background checks on you, and you try to talk to my sister, you try to talk to my cousin. So I'm just putting that out there, guys, that when these girls run these background checks on you, and you done been rejected by her friends or something, it could kill the attraction with her. All right, women fickle like that. All right. The next thing is you don't make impactful approaches. So what ends up happening, guys, when you just have the mindset of cold approaching, remember, if you're just a casual cold approacher, which means that you out living your social life of abundance, you really wait for choosing signals. But every now and then, if you just see something that blows your mind, you want a cold approach, fine. I'm talking about the guys who, I'm gonna talk to 10, 20 women every goddamn day. All right. What ends up happening is you don't make impactful approaches. You take quantity over quality. All right. You want quality approaches. 2 quality approaches is better than, you know what? Even in that aspect, I'm probably wrong. Even if you make 2 quality approaches, the guy who makes 20 quantity approaches is probably still gonna bang more chicks than you, to be quite honest with you. But y'all guys gotta understand. Well, look at his life and look at your life. I guarantee you, you'll be more happier. When you live in a social life of abundance, I guarantee you, I'm more happy now working on my purpose all day and living a social life of abundance than when I was just chasing ass at the mall all day, every day, at the clubs at night. I am much more at peace of mind now, much more. I'm just gonna put that out there. So in that aspect, quantity probably still will beat quality approaches, right? If you gonna be in that mindset, I guarantee you're gonna be in a bottle of frustration. I'm telling you, I used to be. When I was banging a whole bunch of women a year, doing all those cold approaches and stuff, it's never enough. You can sleep with 100 women a year. If you in that mindset, that hunger state still ain't enough. You're gonna get way more happiness from living a social life of abundance and being on your purpose. I'll tell that to anybody. But the main thing I said, you don't make quality approaches. You kind of just pass a girl in passing like, hey, what's up? You don't really make grown man approaches. You make these kind of like flimsy approaches because you just do quantity. You don't do quality approaches. All right. And the next one would be, if you don't have confidence, and I was talking about this previous, if you don't have confidence, cold approaching will kill any of the little confidence that you have left. It would just, when I see guys that hit me up and they have no confidence in themselves at all, I know what's done happened. They already had insecurities. They hadn't figured out how to get over those insecurities. And they went up in the cold approach a couple of women and it just broke it all the way down. And they need to conquer those insecurities first. Do not think that you're going to go out randomly approach women and that's going to build your confidence. It's not. It's going to kill it even more. A lot of guys think that if I just go out and do more cold approaching, that's going to improve my confidence. No. Doing the self-improvement and living a social life of abundance will improve your confidence. Next, playing the numbers game is time consuming. Like I say, if you're going to be the casual cold approacher that's living a social life of abundance, you 99.9% of the time, you really wait on choosing signals. But hey, if you see a hot chick, that's fine. But if you're somebody who just going to play the numbers game, it's time consuming. I can almost guarantee you won't be successful in life. And I can almost guarantee you won't be happy in life going that route. It is time consuming as hell. When I look back at my ass chasing days, I say, it's no wonder you ain't have shit. Chasing success, guys, a man on his purpose is time consuming. It is time consuming as hell. But being a loser and chasing ass is also very time consuming and will get you no fucking well. Next, you'll spend a lot of time dating and pursuing women that you really ain't got a chance with. So back in my cold approaching days, one thing that I see was very prevalent was that I would spend my time talking and going out and hanging out with women who I probably really didn't have a good chance to hang out with anyway. So you're going to spend a lot of fucking money because you're dealing with women who have lukewarm interest. And if you're dealing with women who see you as a 5 and a 6, which ain't nothing wrong with that if you don't have no other better options. But one thing you'll notice is that your success rate with them is going to be very low. If you're dealing with women who dealing with choosing signals, you're going like, damn, I sleep with a lot of them. My success rate with women with choosing signals is 70%. You start dealing with these women who view you as a 5 and a 6, these low interest and stuff like that. Yeah, man, they're going to drop down to like 5 or 10%. You're going to see that you're going to be spending a lot of time with women who you ain't nothing but a time filler for. That's it. So you dealing with women with cold approach? Yeah, can you meet one that had interest, but she sucked at sending choosing signals, or maybe she didn't see you and you get lucky every now and then, yes. But are you gonna get numbers from women who they just giving out their number just to do something because they just like to see their phone ring and all this other crap? So that's the issue with that, guys. You're gonna spend your time hanging out with women who got lukewarm interests, pursuing women who got lukewarm interests, when you've been better off on your purpose or pursuing women who got genuine interests. Next, you run the risk of getting an embarrassing rejection. If you cold approach enough women, you're going to get one that is going to be embarrassing. Now, the thing with this is, what I've learned about the rejection part is, you can avoid that altogether, not by not never cold approaching, but grown man approaches, okay? So if you do, and never talk to a woman who's obviously got the fuck off face on. When a woman has that fuck off face on, do not talk to that woman. She has that face on because she's purposely trying to intimidate men from approaching her. But if you go up to with a grown man approach, none of that, hey baby, and all, this dumb childish stuff, you won't usually get an embarrassing rejection. And quite frankly, to be honest with y'all guys, despite what y'all think, nobody paying your ass no attention, man. And it's all in your fucking head. Ain't nobody worried about you. Next time you go up and approach a woman, when you get through leaving her, I want you to just look around and see if anybody give a damn about your ass. Nobody paying your ass no goddamn attention. Okay? I ain't gonna say always, all right? Of course, sometimes, all right, if it's a bad girl in the club, everybody looking at her. So obviously we're gonna look to see what jackass gonna get rejected first. But by and large, if you make a grown man approach, everything will work out okay, all right? But if you do enough of them, regardless of what you do, grown man approach, childish approach, little boy approach, you're going to run across a bitch. Just flat out, a bitch, which her job is to make you look bad. She get a kick out of trying to embarrass dudes who approach her. You cold approach enough women, you're going to run into one of those. I ran into a couple of those trying to project on the prospect at the gym. Had a couple dudes who one dude saw me coming from halfway across the floor. He saw me coming to something, not interested. See, if you do that enough, if you cold approach enough people or you prospect enough people, you're going to run across an asshole like that. He going to say it loud. He saw me coming towards him. I'm not interested. Little bastard. All right. Next, in a fixed location, women will see you trying to talk to other women. So if you at the club and you randomly going around cold approaching, you get one rejection, a lot of the women saw it. If you get the numbers, a lot of times, so if you got a number and you go get another number, that number just canceled out that previous number because now she see you over there still getting numbers. So the women just see you getting numbers. So a lot of times you guys will go to the club, you get 4 numbers, and you go home and you call them, you wonder what happened. That girl saw you talking to everybody in the goddamn club. All right. So in a fixed location, women will see you being a fucking holler monster, which is very unattractive. It looks desperate. All right, guys. And the last one is successful cold approaching builds more cold approaching. So let's say you go to the mall and you get 10 numbers, 15 numbers, you were hot. The same way a crack addict chased that first high, you will be forever chasing that once you get into that ass chasing cold approach mindset. So once you have a little success at that, what'll end up happening is you think that that's going to always be the case. So if you somebody who went to the mall, you got 10 numbers, you racked up or whatever, you went to the club, you got 10 numbers. Now this becomes you because now you done had a little taste and success with, it's like the guy who goes to the casino, have a good night, and what ends up happening? They become a lifelong member of that casino. They chasing that same success they had that one night, and it ain't never gonna fucking come back. All right, guys. So that runs the risk when you cold approach. You have a couple of successes, you end up chasing that success over and over and over again. Okay, and then you ain't gonna never get it like that again. All right, guys. All right, so this is the pros and cons to cold approaching, or the pros and cons to choosing signal, whichever one you want to call it, guys. I'll get back with you guys later.